back to Bench Warmers! Get the fuck up! Get hype!
This isn't a fucking Friday pep rally at the high school.
Yes, it is! Get hyped! Just blowing out my speakers. Everybody's microphone of me.
Xbox has this noise suppression thing that if you get that loud, it just cuts you off.
Oh, nice.
So you don't hurt everybody else's ears.
It's one of my favorite genres of internet videos is when somebody's just screaming into
Yeah.
the Xbox mic and it just cuts them off for a second. My name is Will,
I'm Stephen.
and we're watching Ben Flippin' 10. Flippin' 10, season 1, episode number 11.
Episode season 1, episode 11.
A small problem.
Much like Hopper's grammar.
Yes.
Will's
What grammar?
The lack thereof.
You can call me Hopper. It's okay. I'm Hopper.
But yeah, so what's this episode about? What's going on?
This episode is a jaunt through the life and times of gray matter.
Are you trying to be like intelligent because it's about gray matter?
No, that's how I always talk. I'm always this way.
You think about it, when he turns into gray matter, just to go down that slide, you'd think gray matter would be like, I don't think I'm the right dimensions to go down this slide. It'd be funny if he just walked back down the stairs because his higher intellect realized that I'm not the right size for this ride. You know what I mean?
But no, it's still Ben. Ben's dumb. Ben is not smart. Gray matter's technically smart, which I don't even know what that means, you know? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what, like, we keep going back to this, but I don't know what the deal is. Like, sometimes he's smart, sometimes he has common sense, sometimes he's like, let me look at
a glass wall kind of thing.
Right. But he's like, let me calculate the distance between the mountains to my location. And it's like, okay, Ben, like,
how does that help you? How does that help them find you?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the common sense to, like, you know, get away from the guy in the first place, or just like not. I don't know. There's a whole Ben and gray matter doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, at least. Whenever you change someone's intellect, it becomes like this whole other thing to me.
And this is why he's the number one most useless alien.
I think so, and I love him to death. And this is sort of why we get an episode about him and just only him, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's, you know, if Ben can become, it's like Iron Man. It's like Iron Man does good without his suit, then he's like, you know, with the suit, he's extra cool. Mm-hmm. But whenever Ben's, you know, at his worst alien, if he still can do good at his worst alien, then he's really good, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we start off at a water park. I don't know where we're at. Somewhere. Water parks could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
Anywhere.
Oregon.
Cool. I was thinking Nevada for some reason.
Sure, let's do Nevada.
I was thinking like Midwest though, for sure, because you have that where it's all flat, but then you do have mountain range. What is that mountain range there?
The Sierra Nevada or whatever?
Let's call it Mount Everest.
Yeah, okay. Mount Everest is there.
Yeah.
Very close in relation to the United States of America.
Yeah.
Or we definitively.
It's like right beside the Great Wall of China.
Yeah. Well, it's all like within a 5-mile radius too.
Yeah,
so.
You just walk down there, it's just there.
It's just there.
It's on the corner of Happy and Healthy.
Is that Walgreens?
It's Walgreens.
As a CVS man, I'm sure you've made fun of that a million times.
Yeah. But Walgreens always paid more, honestly. So
they made more money?
Yeah, you made more if you worked at Walgreens than CVS.
They really are at the corner of Happy and Healthy. Huh?
Yeah.
So gray matter is at the corner of unhappy and unhealthy because Ben transforms into gray matter at a water park because he's too short, and I think he's trying to go Ripjaws.
Yeah, Ripjaws, which
he's trying to prank people. He's trying to be goofy.
We just went over the selfishness thing. How many episodes have we tried to teach Ben to quit being selfish?
I know we had to redo Kevin 11 last episode, so like we're last week.
We're tired.
We've like seen this back to back. We're like, Ben, you have got to quit being so selfish with the watch. You've got to just take anyone's feelings into account when you're becoming an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he goes, I'm not tall enough. I'll turn into Ripjaws.
I'll kill people. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
So he's turning into Ripjaws, and he kind of bangs the omnitrix on.
Yeah, because it wouldn't slam down.
Yeah, I don't
like the watch was like. No.
We've learned this message, Jaime Reyes.
You're too short.
Yeah, you be short.
Yeah.
So he essentially gets stuck as gray matter for effing around and finding out.
Yeah, the entire episode.
And there coincidentally happened to be like a UFO freak at the water park.
Why is this man going to a singular ride, going to the top of it? Ben and Gwen say it's like a 6-story ride.
No, they're at the bottom.
No, you have to go to the top to go down the slide, dummy.
Well, no, but they're at the pool. He's at the pool where...
No. When he first meets him, he's at the top of the ride because Ben jumps down.
You're right. Because when we first see him, he comes up behind him. And he grabs
so the whole thing is there's a whole water park here. You go on one ride, 6 stories up, talk to some teenage guy who doesn't care about you.
Funniest bit in the show, by the way. Well, maybe there's a couple funny bits. But we'll
and he says, "Hey, 70 years ago, this was like a UFO crash site. I need to take samples."
L plus ratio plus don't care.
Yeah.
Plus I'm a teenager and you're old.
Yeah,
like,
teenagers, I literally don't care. Get away.
Yeah, it's
Get
pretty
away.
good. So anyway, through a series of unfortunate events, Ben gets captured by this jerk, this guy. He gets put in a lunchbox.
I don't even think he's a jerk, really.
Well, I would do exactly what if I saw an alien, I'd take him with me.
I'd take a hammer to him.
Well, he's up in the
Ain't no
kiddie
way
pool,
I'm seeing
too.
a gray matter and not taking a hammer to him.
It's just it's fascinating that that's your first, like, I mean, you're at a water park and you're like, oh, an alien, and you don't think to be like, look, everyone, I found it. You're like, let me just take this home and not go do this.
Yeah, he goes to contact a secret organization.
Yeah, so he's
to spread the word that he could have just gone to Channel 52 with.
Dude, I mean, like, all eating it up. Even if it was fake, they would have eaten it up.
Yeah,
So,
that sells.
Anyway,
It's American news. You know what I mean?
yeah, especially small town news. One local man says he saw an alien at a water park, new at 11. So,
I guess we should give the synopsis since we're going this deep.
yeah,
into
this
it.
is sort of this. So Ben gets trapped in the guy's house, and
Yeah.
he's gray matter, so he's smarter, so he kind of figures out how to get out of the box, and then he's just it's sort of a fun little, it's like an Ant-Man scenario where
Yeah.
like a children's toy set could be dangerous, like a
Yeah.
set piece, like where you're at the Thomas the Train thing. It's like, oh yeah, vacuums and cats are big to gray matter, so like that's sort of the episode.
It was just weird the vacuums were chasing him. There's more than one vacuum, and they were chasing.
Well, he was
I
dirty.
have a robot vacuum. It doesn't care about
This
dirt.
is before robot vacuums existed. Bro.
Not that guy had a robot vacuum.
Yeah, but
all
that
it
was-
does is it maps your house and then goes on its preset lanes.
Look it up if you like, but I think this predates robot vacuums. Plus, he had like smart lights, like, oh, lights turn on, and he had all other stuff. He had like a crazy.
They don't show you
system.
how much you'd have to like rewire your house to do that kind of stuff.
He really is a nerdy guy, though, so he probably has time and energy and money. And we were talking about that earlier. We mentioned that while
what
we
does
were.
he do for a living?
He's probably like an engineer or something. He's smart. If he's that smart and he's rewiring his house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or he just sells OnlyFans pictures and then
And he makes a killing off of it.
OnlyFans pictures of aliens he finds. But this man is very attention driven. Like,
Yeah.
he wants attention for
He
finding
wants the fame.
alien.
He wants the glory.
Right.
the
He's not trying to get
recognition.
like money or. Well, I guess he wants to get money.
He's like a tamer Dr. Animo.
Yeah, kinda. I think he's just more like he wants to be validated to himself, kinda, because he put in the research. He's like, oh yeah, UFO crashed here. Let me check some soil samples, and he finds an actual alien. So he's like, oh crap.
Also, what are the odds?
I mean,
You as the guy coming here for a crash site that happened 70 years ago, and you happen to see an alien? I'd be like, what?
yeah, I'd be nuts. I might kill myself.
The guy says must be a holdover from that crash. 70 years
70
ago,
years
this
ago?
guy's just chilling at a water park.
He's just hanging out, drinking the gross
Chlorine water. Got pee in it.
I thought of that
probably.
too. Like he really didn't think about he didn't really think out the Ripjaws thing because
How many kids do you think are peeing in water park?
probably most of them.
Probably a lot.
I used to pee in the pool as a kid. Maybe not at the water park. I'm trying to think if I peed in the water park pool. I think
I
would
just
get up
remember
and go.
specifically my aunt and uncle. This was when it was in kindergarten. They'd gotten a brand new above ground pool, and they said, like day 2, they finally filled it up. They said, "I can swim in it. Do not pee in the pool." I said, "Bet. Why would I pee in the pool? It's
Yeah.
my bathroom." My sister pees in the pool in the first 20 minutes. She's older than me. She's like 6 or 7. I have the common sense not to pee in a pool. She told me she peed in the pool, and like we had to get. I was 20 minutes into the freaking pool.
Yeah.
She peed in it, so we all had to get out. That whole weekend, we were gonna go stay at aunt and uncle's and swim in the pool. They had to drain the whole thing and fill it back up. We didn't get back in the pool that weekend.
Did she tell you she peed in the pool?
Yeah, after she peed in the pool.
Why did she say anything? If you
She
pee in
felt
the
bad.
pool, you keep it to yourself.
She felt bad. I've never peed in the pool.
You've never ever peed in
No,
the pool.
because I witnessed it the first time.
Oh, yeah,
They
you
said,
got scarred.
don't pee in the pool. You got to empty it out. Also, I just, in my head, maybe I'm just built different. I don't know. But why do you pee in a pool? Even as a kid, I never understood that.
You just don't want to get out, and you're surrounded by water. It's like you're in a toilet already.
No, it's not. It's
I
not
don't
the
know.
same.
I definitely don't think you should pee in the pool. Like
Pee
at
in the
all.
ocean.
Yeah, it's the ocean.
The ocean. It's
Pee in the
gross
lake,
already.
maybe.
I haven't swam in any lakes, I don't think.
You've never swam in lakes?
No.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
You think?
Yeah, dude. This one time I went to a lake, man. I saw a little alien there. take him home. I say, hey man.
Every time you do that accent, you need to pop up like Theo Von,
Theo
like right
Von's
in
face.
between us, like
He's
as
not-
a floaty head, like Thor,
Oh yeah.
Thor 11 Thunder style.
Axel, whatever.
Yeah.
Axolotl.
But anyway, where were we at?
So the guy eventually gets in contact with the Forever Knights.
We weren't told that though.
They're called
known
the
as
organization. And that comes through Grandpa Max. We get a lot of Grandpa Max
Oh, I love it, bro.
symbolism.
I love it.
Or,
You get that
foreshadowing.
dog thing.
Yeah, he really is on his game today. I don't know what the deal
Except
is.
for running. He can't do that.
Yeah, he slows down. Anyway, so at this point, we get the bulk of the episode out of the way. Well, no, you get like half the episode out of the way, and then they go to the Forever Knights / the organization's
Palace.
it's like a castle or something.
Yeah.
I don't know where there's just a castle hanging out in like Nevada or wherever we are.
Right by the Eiffel Tower.
I thought you were going to say the IHOP.
That's funnier, honestly. I was keeping up with the Mount Everest. Joke.
Forever Knights, let's go eat pancake. You think they have to like take their masks
They go to
off?
Denny's.
Yeah. Let's get the All Americans Grand Slam. Do you think they like have to take their mask? It's like the Mandalorian where they just like stick a little straw in there. They're like
They have holes in their eyes. I'm assuming they got a hole in their mouth.
put the like maybe they just like
They just
have
put
a
the
little
bacon. They just get a
lever.
bunch of bacon, so they just insert it.
They have to like can you give us pancakes that are shaped like cylinders so we can feed it into our mask? Stupid. Anyway, Forever Knights, very iconic Ben 10 villain group.
Yeah,
we'll go
great.
into them more.
Yeah, season 2 we get a lot more of them. I think.
Yeah, and even like season 3 and 4, we get there's one episode where like they're in like the Machu Picchu ruins or whatever,
searching for like the dagger, or
something like that, and Max goes crazy.
Yeah, because
he's
he was like it was something he tried to chase down
Yeah.
as a younger plumber.
yeah,
and he never got it.
good episode.
Really good.
But no, yeah. So the rest of this episode is essentially the guy who kidnapped Grey Matter realizing that he shouldn't have been kidnapping Grey Matter,
Mhm.
helping out Ben, and then Grandpa Max and Gwen find him and they all break in, and then eventually they all get out and they find this room full of alien stuff. Grey Matter uses some of his know-how to like explode the whole thing. Like really, just every bit of the castle gets exploded. So
It's evaporated. There's nothing left.
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. So
Think of how many relics got broken.
yeah, I mean, well, all the stuff that we saw there, and
Yeah.
granted, like the stuff he was saying, it was like, oh yeah, let me get the capacitor or
Yeah.
whatever. It wasn't like,
There's a bunch of sciencey words.
I mean, it was some like probably some just junk from alien spaceships or whatever.
Chunk.
Junk.
Yeah, they've got what's the equivalent of an alien muffler
Grey
sitting there, you know?
Matter's like, I can steal that and sell it for meth money.
Yeah.
So
I think it was like an alien toaster, essentially. But
yeah,
Probably just common items.
well, he just he uses it to rig up an explosive thing, and
Yeah.
anyway, so they lose all their junk, and then at this point, Enoch, the king of the Forever Knights, is like, we're gonna look. Into
I don't think he is.
Yeah, Forever King.
Is he the Forever King?
I think so. That's what
We see people higher than him in the order later.
Well, but I think does he like die or something? I feel like because he's not in Ultimate
He
Alien.
gets trapped in like the mine thing for a whole episode.
Oh,
They were gonna leave him in there, and then the people were like, "He's failed enough times. I think we're gonna keep him here for a little bit."
Honestly, we can talk about this too. Like the Forever Knight order is so confusing.
Oh,
like,
for
I don't,
sure.
Like
It used to be like mask. It denoted you by your
Yeah.
mask.
and now it's like, well, it just don't anymore. Who cares? Just don't
Yeah.
even, just put on like it became very medieval very quickly. And
Yeah.
this is medieval, but it's like medieval with like the mask thing. It kind of had a different vibe to it.
Yeah,
It devolves into we're knights. We have swords and scepters and all kinds of stuff
or
like that.
xenophobic.
yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much the episode. There's no real moral. Do you think? I mean, what do we learn from this episode?
Nothing.
We learn not to take your height for advantage or disadvantage. Well, because
No.
he's short at the very
Don't
beginning.
With the omnitrix, it'll make you into gray matter for 22 minutes.
Don't smack on the wooden plank that you're
Yeah.
sitting next to. I think that's what they were going for. They didn't really expound upon it. This is
Yeah.
more like a lore episode, like setting up the Forever Knights. This is kind of
Yeah,
like a
and then
series
you
on
start.
villain.
It's starting to hint more on.
Oh, Grandpa Max for sure.
It's a big Grandpa Max episode.
There's not really a message. I mean, the message maybe is just like don't misuse the omnitrix, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like that's a big part. But there's no like clear defined message like we had the last episode
No.
where it was
Not at all.
like
We're just seeing Ben be an idiot.
yeah. And it's a fun episode. I mean, Gray Matter is not the alien you want to be stuck with all episode, but having to like think yourself out of these situations where like
Yeah.
you're getting chased by a cat or you're getting smoked down a chimney or whatever. It's fun. I
Yeah.
like seeing Gray Matter have to like think his way out of stuff.
I mean, it's really the only thing you can do. So I'd like him to do that.
I know this is true. But yeah, breaking the scenes down. We start at the water park, and
this is another time you see Ben and Gwen are actually on the same page.
Yeah, I noticed
they both
that too.
want to ride the ride. They're like, "Yeah, let's go. It's gonna be fun."
They kind of like talk it up, and they're like, "This is awesome," and then immediately Ben just can't get in.
Yeah, which I don't think Gwen is actually taller than Ben in any of the episodes. I think just they distinctively do it there.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering.
It's even more salt in the wound.
We should check in the next couple episodes to see if they did note that, like if she just because girls mature faster than boys, so they may grow. I mean, they're the same age, we know.
Yeah.
And same birthday and everything like that. So I always thought they were the same size. She might be a little bit taller.
Mm.
We'll have to check into it. I'm sure the wiki has more of the size difference or whatever. Probably has their heights and weights and stuff like that. But as far as the water park goes,
Ben's just mad he can't get on the ride, so he's like, "Oh,
like immediate,
rip jaws."
I don't know.
The kid is what we need to talk about. He was so like uncaring. Ben shows up, he goes, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
The teenager. Yeah. He's like, "You're not allowed."
And then the same teenager, the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, can you call one of your higher authorities? I'm here to take soil samples."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, hold on, dude. Let me call someone who cares." Ring, ring, ring. Oh, no one's there, man. It's like the funniest. This is stupid. Like this show
it's so stupid, but it works. You know what I mean?
The show has excellent extras. Like all the extras have been so funny. Like I'm thinking about the Aunt Vera episode, all the old people extras.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like the police officers in some episodes or whatever. Even just like the ice cream guy from the Haunted episode. Or no, that's the Aunt Vera episode where he's like, "What do you have?" Napkins.
Oh yeah, napkins. Next.
I love these. Like,
why is there a next? There's only two people. You're looking at both of them.
I don't know. They're together clearly. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, background characters are really funny in this.
Yeah, I think they work well.
Yeah,
they're very short, to the point.
Yeah.
On, you know what I mean?
Make you laugh, make you ha.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, gray matter is not the worst choice because you can kind of sneak around to get into the slide. But again, he's misusing the watch. We can count on our hands the amount of times he's misused the watch, and it's probably like 12 at this point.
Yeah, we run out of hands.
Run out of fingies.
Yeah.
So I think he like this is what's frustrating about the show is that we've seen him learn these lessons, and by proxy we've learned the lessons. Don't be selfish. Don't use the watch for your own personal gain. Don't be the hero. Don't want the recognition or whatever. And he just hasn't gone through that. And even we see like in the last episode, he has this kind of in the Kevin 11 episode, he has this falling out with Max.
Yeah.
And that just never comes back up. It's like not even when they see Kevin again is he like, "Ben, you learned this the last time. You should be whatever."
It's almost like it doesn't matter. Each episode is a self-contained episode.
It is, and that's a good thing and a bad thing because you can just turn it on and watch Ben 10. You get the gist of it,
which is fun. But then, like
watching it like this, you kind of realize like the fault of that, where it's like Ben.
Which maybe it's a sign we shouldn't be watching it.
Yeah, we quit.
Losers.
I love this show.
It's a great show.
I like just trying to get anything besides action and fun out of it is maybe a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But I think there's some stuff. There's definitely some stuff
and
to
then
it.
The lore and the universe building is really fun. If you break it down episode by episode, though, and you try to pick at it, we're
gonna find some goofy stuff. But I think overall, it's a really fun, good show. Anyway, but so he doesn't really learn anything this time around.
No, not at all.
Nothing too nuanced. It's maybe like I said, maybe the short and tall thing. Probably not. I mean, it's just sort of an ironic twist that he was getting made fun of for being short in the beginning.
Right.
And then he turns into Gray Matter, who is like the shortest alien.
Yeah.
Which he's not the shortest alien overall, by the way.
We get
Nanomech, maybe? Is that his name?
Nanomech.
Which he premieres in the movie, the live action, the Alien Swarm or whatever.
Oh, really? I saw he's in like Alien Force or Ultimate Alien again.
I think he's in a couple episodes of Ultimate Alien. I remember when they're doing like the video game one, he's like, "Do your biggest one, not your smallest one." So good stuff, ultimately. That
ultimate
alienly. But yeah, so then, he's Gray Matter, he sneaks on the slide and Gwen sees him. I'm sure someone else sees him too.
Yeah.
It's a frog. I would have thought it was a frog. Haven't seen him there. And then we get this really ominous, hilarious by proxy shot of Gray Matter just hanging out in the pool.
Yeah. You see the guy pop up behind him.
Kind of comes up behind him.
What a creepy dude.
And then you get gray matter, and he's just like the way he says Gwen right there is
Yeah,
like the
Gwen,
funniest.
Gwen. And she like turns on, and is like, let go of him. Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh,
my whole life's work here.
Yeah,
Go on, little buddy.
just drown him, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was Richard Horvitz doing gray matter.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Famous alien voice. Famous. He's Zim. He's in Destroy All Humans. He's like the main boss in that.
He's famous like Martian alien.
Yeah, I mean he's like classic alien voice. You know. I'm sure he's different aliens and different stuff too. But like he's in Cat Scratch. He's one of the cats in that show. Remember that show, Cat Scratch?
If I saw a picture, I probably would.
Yeah, I think he did a bunch of live action stuff too. Because I remember his face as well as his voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does a good job because normally he just sounds like Richard Howard. He just sounds like Zim.
Yeah.
In most things he's in, but he does a good job masking it here. Or they put some kind of effect on it.
Yeah.
It's a good. I like Gray Matter's voice.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he puts him in a lunchbox. He's like getting chased by Gwen, and this one, Grandpa Max has got 3 snow cones. Looks delicious in his hands. And Gwen goes, he's got gray matter, and he goes, well, throws them
away.
All 3 of them. You can take one?
Dude, you know he must be loaded throwing away snow cones. How fast would your mom have hit you in the head if you threw snow cone away when you were a kid?
I would never.
Yeah, we wouldn't even get snow cones because they were too expensive.
Yeah.
How it was.
Nothing is parting me from a snow cone. Okay?
Especially on a hot day at the water park, bro. Come on,
bro.
Come on now. Bring it on home, dude. There's nothing better than that. I like how when he bites his
yeah.
nothing better than
Praise
that.
God.
I'd like kick a fat kick at Kmart, bro.
Yeah. Praise God.
Praise God, baby. All right. Anyway, but
so they're chasing him, and
Grandpa Max gets winded.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm not as young as I once was." Gwen's like, "Okay, I am, so I'm going to keep running."
Sprints after. I guess she sees what car he gets into.
Yeah, that green car.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't think of a license plate number to look at or anything.
I mean, at least she gets the car. You know, that's more than I would have gotten. I would have been in the trash dipping up those snow cones. So,
what did you even chase them? Throw them in.
Grandpa, what the heck?
Pick him up, clean them off a little bit.
It is not that. It is not that important.
Yeah, he's fine. You know.
That's the thing too. If Ben didn't get stuck as gray matter in this episode, like it would have been a very short episode. The dude would have been like, "Why is there a child in my trunk?"
Yeah, this is weird.
We also talk about too while we're watching the episode. It's like what happens when Ben transforms back and he's in like a combined space. Like, would it be like a phasing thing? Because there's like an energy that sends out, so it's not just like matter.
I think the force
transformation
of it would just burst it.
Right? Because I mean, I don't know. I don't think we've seen that. Like we may have seen it. I don't remember an episode where he does that.
I haven't.
Where he's gray matter. He like sneaks in a little place and then he expands.
Well, at the end of this episode, he's in a space, expands, and just his hand is in that space.
I wonder if that's like, but wasn't he kind of trying to leave anyway? Like he was done.
No, he was straight up in it and it beeped and then.
Well, maybe he tried to leave because he heard it beeping.
Mm.
Maybe you could argue.
I don't want to.
Oh, we won't, but we could.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
we'll argue about anything. Don't bring up any stupid argument. We can just keep going.
I won't do it. So then this part really it makes me think of Toy Story 2 like immediately.
Yeah.
Like this is Al's toy barn stealing Woody from the garage sale.
Yeah, and then he's trying to escape, and then
yeah, this is very much Toy Story 2 to me.
Yeah, and it's cool. You kind of see some cool powers from Gray Matter in the fact that he's very frog-like. He can like stick onto things and climb and stuff like that. Do a little bit of acrobatics, jump a little bit high.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. He's not any Olympic athlete by no means.
He's not Bull Frag, which is the actual frog alien from Omniverse.
Right.
But he's he can't do his tongue or whatever, but he's froggish.
Froggish.
And I think the Galvin are so advanced, they have no need for that kind of stuff. Like that's probably all just pointless. Unless it helps them build stuff like
I don't think it does. I think it's like you see Raph. You know, you're telling Raph he's been naked the whole time, you know? Yeah. Raph doesn't know. So like Ben doesn't know that this isn't something they do all the time.
I kind of wonder we'll talk about Omnitrix fashion later on, but like I'm pretty sure he gets like maybe in the reboot he gets like a wrestler's outfit for Raph. Or something like that. I think so. Like he's like a leotard kind of thing. I'll pull it up right here if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But I think at some point Raph gets like a little leotard type thing. And Humongousaur gets like a little like chest like thing.
So they put like clothes on him.
Yeah, they're starting to put the clothes on him, and I think like
that's weird.
I kind of want because Four Arms obviously has different outfits throughout the whole.
Oh, that kind of makes sense though because Ben has them in the first one, but in the next one, Ben's got like the jacket and jeans and stuff, so he can't really make us.
Well, he could. I mean, it's just clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just white and black shirt.
But yeah, all of his aliens are naked.
Yeah. Spider Monkey's naked. Humongousaur's naked.
The crab guy.
Chromostone.
What's his name?
Brainstorm.
I was wanting to say
Goop.
Brain Blast.
Goop is naked.
Goop is definitely naked.
I guess.
Big Chill.
Big Chill, yeah, and Swamp Fire too.
Yeah.
They're all just naked.
Yeah.
Not a single piece of clothing on them.
Yeah. There's a complete design shift.
So I wonder if that was like just like the Omnitrix like scaling down function wise. No, luckily none of these aliens have big dongs to be covered up. You know.
Sometimes you just say things I'm completely hit.
Just saying things.
Just hit me, bro, like a truck to the face, dude.
Well, because you know, I mean, like they got to reproduce somehow. None of these.
Well, not again. This is the watch, so like
they don't need to reproduce, but it's still It's still a, you know, like the peak
not
version.
Vital. It's not vital for what the watch is there for.
Well, yeah, it is. Sure.
Whatever. We're not having this argument either. Yeah. So he does like he
Hold
runs
on,
through,
Bennett gives birth from one of his aliens,
which
of course.
is weird.
Yeah. I think that happens again, doesn't it?
No, I think it only happens once. I don't think they try to pull that off twice, unless it happens in Omniverse.
It might. I don't remember.
But he runs through like the air vents, and the guy like blows
yeah.
him out of it. He climbs up the chimney and smokes him out of that.
He like taunts the cat to
Yeah.
knock him out of the glass jar. He got
Yeah,
the suspicious glass
they're
jar.
running
he got
from the
knocked in.
vacuum cleaners, army of them just chasing.
There was at
them.
least two, and it makes you wonder. Like those were some fast boys too. And
They
it looked
were.
like they were like,
Are they sucking
metal.
anything up? You know, if you
I'm
go
sure.
to because like if you're on a lawnmower and you know you've got it at a certain height, if you go too fast, it's gonna be a choppy grass cut.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. I don't know, man. Maybe that guy invented those. Maybe like they weren't very good. Maybe that's what he's doing for a living. He's inventing stupid household.
But there's
stuff.
people buy stupid household things all the time.
You told me that you've got a robot vacuum.
That's not stupid though. That is a game changer, bro. You know how long
Okay.
if you got an entire house full of hardwood floor, you understand how
I'll
long
agree
it
with
takes to sweep that thing?
Yeah, I don't like
It
sweeping.
took us like 2 hours.
I will say sweeping is one of my least favorite chores. Sweeping is up here. Laundry is like right down here.
It's just because you got to put it up afterwards.
I hate putting
I
it
have
up.
no
I'll let it
problem
clean.
dumping it in
Dude,
the washer,
dude.
putting it in the dryer.
Dump all day, dog.
Dumping.
Dump it all day. Dump it to crumpet, bro.
Yeah.
It's rich.
But the fact that you got to hang it up or
hate
fold it, get it out of here, bro.
No, I'm not a fan.
Like if I had the money, I'd just keep buying more clothes.
Honestly, yeah, like that Parks and Rec episode where they run out of plates and so they start eating off frisbees.
Yeah.
And they run out of frisbees, clean frisbees, so they buy more frisbees.
Yeah. And the guy who's like sitting there with them is like, why am I here?
Why
I
didn't
need
you
to
just wash
get out
the
of
plates?
here. Yeah.
So anyway, fun little sequence. I mean, it goes on for a little while. You guys tries to smoke him out.
Yeah.
Eventually, leads to no good. He calls Gwen and Grandpa. He's like trying to triangulate the distance between the mountains to find, and then he finally gives them a street to go towards.
And then they find out there's like streets, lanes, avenues, and they got to go through all of it. Which is again, you see, Grandpa Max gets attacked by a dog. They're like a house across the street from the actual house.
That was my other favorite moment. They think it's the right house because the car is in the driveway, but they like knock the door down. And
the old lady, she's just in a wheelchair thing. She goes, sick 'em, and the dog jumps on Grandpa Max, knocks him over. Grandpa Max gets him in a headlock and does a book and
like a
puts him to
Vulcan
sleep.
mind
pinch. Sleepy
pretty
time. She comes.
Like what's the Australian guy? The Dundee,
Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
Where you can just like put dogs to sleep like that. Grandpa Max Crocodile Dundee confirmed.
But while he was doing that, the nerd guy, I'm ignoring everything you're saying, had called the organization,
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I got an alien. This one's legit. And they're like, you better not be fooling with us because we've been funding your research
cell phone
for
too.
years. That's probably how he makes all the money. They told us. They funded him.
Oh, the organization funds him?
Yeah. He said, we're tired of funding you.
But now he's not getting any funding because he's going to quit all things alien.
Yeah, which is a weird take. But anyway,
Probably just sell some of
so at the Forever Knights, the organization we know him as right now, come in, and that's when he's putting the dog to sleep. They look up and they see the Forever Knights take Ben and the scientist guy. Do we know his name?
Howell. Because I remember they were like, they're about to leave at the end, and he goes, not you, Howell. And for some reason, it'd be funny if he was like, you need to live in a moving castle. Thought that would be funny.
But so they take him out, and they're like, oh, we were one street off, or one house off. So they're following them.
Same car in the driveway.
Yeah, same car.
And they lost his, Howell lost his cell phone with all the alien pictures on it.
And she's like, he looks so sad.
Only
Gwen
I can
says that.
torment him.
Yeah. Which, you see, the relationship that Gwen has with Ben. They do love each other, but they don't like each other.
It's a picky, pick at each other relationship.
Yeah. But Grandpa Max, again, is like, we can trace this back to the origin, and then we'll go there.
Gwen's like, there's a sneaky side to you. I didn't know you were like this. Oh my
and
God.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, Gwen, what are you sneaky about?
You're like the most
you goody
preppy,
two-shoes?
Yeah, goody two-shoes person in the world. But yeah, so they find out where the organization's at, and the only castle in the, and we're like, one of our our friend was watching this episode with us, and he goes, they're wearing trench coats to kind of cover up the ancient armor that they're wearing.
Yeah,
and their car has like a big shield on it. They're not trying to like stay hidden.
Yeah, everything about them is loud.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, you would go like Men in Black style, black suits and whatever if you wanted to act casual.
Yeah,
put a full suit of armor on.
Clanking all over the place.
Clankety.
Imagine going to Walmart real quick because you got to get a few things.
Yeah.
Come from work to Walmart before you go home, you know what I mean?
Imagine you have to take a crap at Walmart. You're just like, let me get the chain off
so
here.
Many buckles.
Put my sword down on the side. My little laser staff on the side.
So they take Ben, and the guy's like, okay, we're going to team up. We're going to release this news to the public. Let's get famous. And the guy's like, no, we're not doing that.
Actually, L plus ratio plus get out of here plus
you're old.
Yeah.
And you got made fun of by a teenager.
And you're a dweeb. And what is that one thing where it's like, I think it's Pops from Regular Show where he's like, you're not a good show, and you're bad, and...
I'm going to be honest, I've not watched a lot of Regular Show.
Oh, I think it's an edit, but it's like one of those saying like L plus ratio, but it's his voice doing it.
Yeah. So they tell him that, and he goes, well, I thought that's what we were doing. I was like, no, we're very secretive, even though they're not. We just discussed this.
Yeah.
Everything about them is a dead giveaway.
Right, yeah. And they live in a huge castle just out in the middle of,
They probably rent out half of it to be one of those medieval night things.
Oh, yeah. They've got
you get like a leg of mutton and stuff. You get to watch a joust. How they stay conspicuous. That's actually all their day jobs.
That'd be a much better idea than what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're making the money they have now. They have a big mansion like that.
Old money.
Must be.
Yeah.
Old George money.
Yeah, which we'll meet him a lot later.
But,
So he's like, oh, that's not fair kind of thing. They take them both away. They throw the guy downstairs. Why they don't just let him walk down the stairs? They have to throw him.
I don't know. Well, it's because they're bad guys. We gotta...
Yeah, you gotta
this guy is bad guy, but he's not bad guy.
They're bad guy.
Yeah, he's sort of the antagonist up until this point, and then he realizes like, well, I kind of like that alien.
Yeah.
We're friends.
For
like,
some reason.
I don't know if he would have, because it made a point to say like, oh, he speaks English. Like he may have been wanting to like.
It's that intelligence thing. Remember we talked about like
Yeah.
if you went and hunted a deer, but then if the deer could talk, would you want to hunt the deer?
Probably not, bro.
It'd
Honestly,
feel
that
weird.
would scare me.
Right? The second, so he decides he's gonna.
And I guess intelligence recognizes intelligence too. 'Cause
Right.
He's a scientist or whatever.
Yeah. So, but they're gonna cut Ben up.
Which I kind of wonder, like that wasn't his plan. Like he wasn't going to cut the alien up. You know?
Yeah, he just wanted to show it off.
He wanted to
What
like,
was
take
his
it to
plan after
take it
that?
to Ellen or whatever.
Just keep it trapped forever as a little showpiece.
Take it on the View.
Yeah. He said, I draw the line at dismemberment, but
Slavery,
enslavement,
yeah,
for the rest
it's
of his
fine.
life. Whatever.
But anyway, so yeah, immediately after he gets thrown down the stairs, bro's like, okay, and then he like a Forever Knight's coming out the door, and he like slams into the door.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, he's really into it now,
And also the amount of things that they could learn from a live alien as opposed to just dissecting an alien.
Especially when bro's speaking English.
Yeah, obviously he's intelligent. You can get something. Obviously you can't. It's Ben, but they don't know that. They think it's an alien, so they're like, "Where'd you come from? What technology do you have? Can we get that technology?"
What's the vibe with English? Is that sort of the common language in the universe, like it is in Star Wars?
Maybe it's just accepted that everyone has a translator of some sort.
But I don't, because like Tetrax doesn't really have a translator. Maybe he has
that
a
we don't
vocal
know
translator.
of.
Yeah, 'cause he's got like a really high tech suit.
Yeah.
I guess he could have something in there.
Yeah.
6'6" is just like, nah.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Not for me, homie.
We can kick a fat kid at Kmart. Praise God.
Praise God, baby. Anyway,
so they've got Ben up on that table, and it cuts back to Ben or Max and Gwen, and Gwen's like, "What is this place?" And you see again, Grandpa Max knows a little bit more than we're letting on. We only got one more episode before he starts.
well, you mean we got one full episode, and then next episode.
So we only have one more episode.
Well, 2 more episodes.
No.
Well, the last episode of this season is called Secrets, and then the first episode of season 2 is called like The Truth or something like that. So I don't know if we get the full story till season 2.
I don't think so. I think you're wrong.
L plus
I was like,
ratio.
yeah, plus you're dumb.
Plus you're a bad show.
So anyway, Grandpa Max, like, they call themselves the Organization, an old secret society that finds alien technology, all this, yada, yada, yada. And Gwen's like, how do you know that? And he's like, well, when you get this old, you just hear things about secret organizations.
Yeah,
apparently.
you get a little bit of knowledge when
Yeah.
you're older. It's like, shut up, bro. Tell what are you hiding?
I actually was a plumber. That's why I know these things. He could just say that. You know what I mean?
That's, he says,
if-
what kind of plumber were you?
Yeah.
Darn good one.
And people would just be like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but you believe it. And he's not lying. It's like if you watch that show Lucifer, where like the buddy cop Lucifer show.
Yep.
They'll be like, why'd you do this? I'm the devil. He's not lying. You're telling him exactly. You just don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Awful, right?
You know what I mean? It's not. It's really. It makes sense because
It's
he never
funny,
lies. So he's
yeah.
like, no, I am Lucifer Morningstar, the devil, yada yada. And they're like, good one, bro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hee hee.
But
Anyway, so
he could just be like, oh, how do you know about that, Grandpa Max? I'm a plumber.
yeah,
We just knew that for our job. We had to know that.
dredging up old crap,
Yeah.
plumbing.
But so then you see the guys dressed up in that weird. Their suits remind me of the yellow guys from Monsters Inc.
Oh, like 2319.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the thing that Roz is like
Yeah.
the leader of.
yeah. They have the same kind of vibe, but their heads almost look exactly like the people that Vilgax has employing.
Oh yeah, the little like there's a name for. I learned the name at some point.
Yeah,
D. Bradley Baker voice is one of them.
yeah,
But anyway, so yeah, like Howell kind of dresses up like one of them, and he helps get Ben out of the thing.
yeah.
And he uses the laser to cut the chains off Ben or whatever.
Yeah, he's just a pro at it. Never
Well-
probably used that technology before.
I kind of wonder, like, should you make the design to where you can cut the chains off of it? Like, shouldn't it be like you just undo the chains and not have to
Yeah, true.
It should be like a very specific, like a computer should be guiding it because
Yeah.
it's like a laser thing.
Yeah,
But they're very high tech. I mean, they've got these like swords that
they have like the
kinda,
frame of a sword, but then it has like an electricity fire type thing.
Yeah,
Anything they can do without getting sued
it's not quite
for
Star
being
Wars.
a lightsaber.
And it looks more like a normal kind of sword. Like it's got that look to it. It's not like just a cylinder going up.
How I don't know how much they own the rights to what a lightsaber looks like, but let's pretend it's a lot, right? How
Yeah.
much do other companies have to like design around not looking like a lightsaber? You know what I mean?
Well, like and you play Smash Brothers, there's like the item that's essentially a lightsaber, but it's
Yeah.
like a katana. It's like a fiery katana
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But I feel like everyone lets Nintendo do whatever they want. I don't
That's
think
true.
they really care.
Well, also too, like that new what's his name? He did the 300 and Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder.
He's like a Star Wars movie coming out. It's called like the Dark Rebellion or something.
Is it
like that.
actually like Star Wars universe?
He wrote it for. I think what happened. The story I heard was that he wrote it for Star Wars, and he wrote it as a Star Wars thing, but it's like a dark, sexy Star Wars.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the trailers for it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, they
So
use
there's
lightsabers.
trailers for it?
There's a trailer. It came out like right before or around the time the strike started happening. So
Oh,
I think they didn't
well,
really
that's
go.
over now.
I know. Congrats
for
to
them.
all the writers.
Maybe write some better stories.
No, listen. If I was getting paid to write Black Adam, I think I would just do, just put in the bare.
Black
minimum.
Adam isn't even the worst offender, bro. Let's be honest here. How did
Suicide
Ant-Man
Squad.
3 or frickin' Thor Love and Thunder get past the
I don't
soundboard?
know.
You know what the problem is? I've talked about it before. They want it to appeal to every audience in the world.
Yeah.
And then it becomes crap. You
Well-
need to just accept that you have an audience and you need to write a story for that audience.
Yeah. Well, no, but like
Because if you do that, then the movie is great. Look
I
at
think-
James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
or James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxies.
Exactly. He
Those
wrote
are,
the
those
movies.
are very specific movies.
Exactly. For the sake of the movie,
Yeah.
not who it's going to appeal to.
He
Because
had
if
the
you,
idea for the story.
it's
and that's-
literally like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you make a good movie, you will get enough people to watch that good
Explain
movie.
Blue Beetle and Steven.
DC fatigue, honestly. DC's
Yeah.
put
Well,
out
no,
so many
they
stinkers,
actually-
people aren't going.
Blue Beetle got up past the Flash, I think. In terms
The
of
audience
sales.
rating and Rotten Tomatoes both gave it good reviews. It's just people aren't. If you go and watch it, you like it. No one's going to watch it.
Well, it
you know?
made its money back, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Fine, eventually,
it made
yeah.
its money back. So I think word of mouth does a lot for your movie. But
Yeah. But the thing is, quit trying to get everybody in the world to watch your movie. Quentin Tarantino, he makes a movie, people go watch it.
yeah,
They know
because
it's
he
good.
makes it.
Yes. Make your movies, put some thought and effort into it,
That's what, like, whenever.
And I know it's not the right. I'm sure the writers write something, and then the big boards are like,
oh yeah.
this doesn't sell to this audience.
Also, too, like concept art. You see some concept art, it gets like scrapped, like really cool stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking about Sam Raimi and
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
Did they write any of that in the contract of like what I'm ranting about? Did any of that go in there?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's their job. Like they write the movie. Like there's a famous saying, like you don't write a movie, you write a script.
Yeah.
So like the director can take it a certain way. They can change lines on the day. I mean,
Yeah.
you're like, as a writer, you get invited to set and you can hang out on set for the most part. For sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But like actors improvise. Like that was a big problem with the Thor movies, is that Taika Waititi just didn't care, because he was like, well, y'all screwed up my character because Thor got his eye back and he got his new
Yeah, I wrote
hammer.
this great thing.
I wrote this awesome like thing about how family is, you know, where it's about the people, not the place.
He doesn't need the weapon. You gave him a weapon.
We made him a king, and then in game, or I guess in yeah, it was in game. We just decided, oh, he doesn't want to be a king anymore.
Yeah.
Thor kept getting like swapped around. I mean, and granted, he was cool as crap in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Best version of Thor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like that totally murks his character from Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And James Gunn felt the same way with Quill, because he was like, well, just a small detail, like they broke the mask in Guardians 2, and then like his Peter Quill mask, you know. And he doesn't have it for 3, but he has it in Endgame, so there's like this weird inconsistency, and like there's a part in the end of 3, spoiler alert for Guardians 3, where Peter Quill goes out in space, and it's like, oh, why doesn't he just have his mask on, because he can breathe in space?
Yeah.
It's because they broke it.
Yeah.
And James Gunn was like, well, it's still broken. I'm not
bringing it back.
Yeah, I'm not bringing it back, even though they've already done that.
Yeah, it's not contained. There needs to be a progression line.
Yeah, so it feels like there could just be any amount of masks that Peter Quill can have, even though that's the one mask he had.
Yeah, he's not Iron Man where he's just making his new suit. He got a mask. It's broke. He has no mask.
So and that's just one little microcosm, but like killing off Gamora, that must have been a shot to his leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. James Gunn's like, how am I supposed to work with this?
But he did. You know,
he did. He made it work.
The Gamora stuff was kind of the weakest stuff for me in the third one.
Because the problem is you killed her, and then you brought her back for James Gunn, and he's like, I'd rather you just kept her dead. I can work with that better than trying to bring in a different Gamora.
And now it's like, we're going to have more Gamora standalone stories? No.
So you just ruined a character.
Yeah, essentially.
Not ruined. He did well.
But I did like the Peter Quill, like he learned to find, you know, it's a message I've had to learn in my life, and I connected to it. Like, oh, you can't just find yourself through some other person. Like, you can't just get in a relationship and that's your identity now. It's like you need to become your own person besides that relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So it worked fine, and I love that movie. I love that series.
How do we get on this rant?
I don't know. But,
Snyderverse. He was making a movie.
Oh, yeah. He was making a Star Wars movie, and Star Wars declined, but he's like, I'm still making this movie. I think it's a trilogy.
No way. Do you think it'll be good? Because
I think it'll be fun. I mean, you know,
the zombie movie he made was good until the end, and then I hated the whole thing.
I like Watchmen a good bit, but I've never read the source material, so I don't know if it's, you know, and some of the DC stuff was not terrible. Like,
I really don't think Man of Steel was as bad as people make it.
I think Justice League was fine. Like his version of Justice League
would have been good.
No, I liked his I mean, it was long as crap, but I liked what they.
They could have obviously made some cuts, but the fact that they said no and then said yes to whatever they released.
I know, dude.
They said,
well, that's exactly what we were talking about the appealing to a large audience.
Yeah.
They added in jokes. They like added in stupid crap.
Yeah. And I was on the fan bus. I thought Joss Whedon was going to come in and save the whole DC universe, he made it worse.
Oh yeah. Well, he did Avengers pretty good.
That's why I had such high hopes when they said they were bringing him in.
But Marvel, that tone in Marvel is not what they'd established in the DC continuity.
So you can't do that. Can't do it.
Not everyone's a quirky, quippy person. I mean, you can do that with the Flash. You get the
Flash. You've got the comedic relief. Fine.
Even like Cyborg, maybe, because we don't know Cyborg yet.
Cyborg was so serious, even in the Snyder one.
Which, I mean, that's
which I like. You come from a traumatic event like that, you're not going to be a Joker.
I kind of like my favorite version of Cyborg though is everyone who reads comics is like Teen Titans is not representative of the real characters. I get it.
Maybe it is.
Well, that's what people say is like Starfire is completely different than the comics.
Oh yeah, she's way different.
I mean, I guess Dick Grayson's probably the same way. Raven, I think, is different. I think Beast Boy probably a little different, but same heart. You know?
Yeah, Teen Titans was. The thing is, some things outshine the source material.
Yeah.
Teen Titans, the TV show, I believe, outshine the source. It's different, but they did it so well that it's okay.
I agree with you, and I think that's kind of the interpretation now. Like even in Injustice, you'll see Starfire like doing the shtick from Teen Titans show. So it's but anyway, he's got the lightsabers in this new movie, and they just look like lightsabers. But they're not, I mean, they look like
so they may not have rights to other than the word.
Well, they're not
lightsaber.
exactly like lightsabers, but they're sort of like pillowy, flamey lightsabers.
Got you.
You should look it up. It's pretty cool.
Okay. We're keeping that whole rant in the video.
Yeah, it was good. I had
Yeah.
fun doing it. This is the problem with having just like a linear kind of stuck on one thing podcast, like Ben 10. We got to
Yeah.
stay on Ben
Which
10.
we can rediscover after we finish Ben 10.
Oh yeah.
We can explore it. I've got a few ideas.
Okay.
We'll, my
butt
people
touching,
will
maybe?
talk with me. My people will talk with your people.
Okay. So anyway, so I really enjoyed the Forever Nights bit of this episode, and kind of seeing like Grandpa Max and Gwen like sneak in at one point,
Mhm.
sneak in for no real reason because Ben and Hal got it covered.
There's no security really.
No, yeah, I mean for this big thing, and I think they've
Max
got
takes on
cameras.
one guy.
He sweeps the leg.
Yeah.
And goes, hey, how you doing? Or he says something like that.
Gwen comes in with her classic pole slam. It's almost the
Yeah.
same animation as when she
It
smacked
might
the bird.
be honestly the same like cells
Yeah,
reused.
we talk about the stock footage, the stock audio of her yelling, "Grandpa!"
Oh yeah. There's a stock cat sound whenever the
Yeah.
cat's on the screen. Gotta love
Lazy
the-
writers, man.
I think the writers.
It's all them writers. Honestly, this is the last like digression.
Yeah.
I play a lot of video games and people want to hate on devs, and it's the same with the writers. It's not the devs or the writers. Sometimes it's the writers. Okay,
Yeah.
don't even get me started
Oh,
with,
sure,
the Halo show. Don't even get me started.
Or what are we with the Borderlands games? Just evolved into crappy dialogue.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Millennial writing is what they call it.
Millennial pupper doggo.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but most of the time the writers or the devs have a great thing, but then the suits and the boards are like, this won't sell as well as this will, or we want the most money from what you can.
Right. Let's change this creative idea you have just so we can potentially squeeze a couple more dollars out of it.
So I want everyone to know I don't hate writers or devs.
Goofing.
Some of you suck, but you know
we're goofing.
mostly the boards, the suits.
Boards.
You know,
Kind of like a board.
yeah, they take kind of like a reward.
Thank you.
Drink my milk.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's like studios the biggest problem. Talk about multiverses a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that
I
was
love
completely-
multiverses.
Me too, man.
But I think it's devolved somewhere.
Well, no, that's the whole problem. The studio is like, you guys need to put out Black Adam, and so they're like, crap, we don't have anything for Black Adam yet, and so they like rushed and they put out this kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fine character. I don't mind him as a character, but they like rushed to get him out there. They like put everything else aside.
I think another problem too is like Dwayne Johnson had a hand in like writing.
in Black Adam.
I don't think he should have had a hand in the writing.
I think
He's a phenomenal pick for Black Adam. I think he shouldn't have been really a producer, or writer, or any of that. I just don't think that's him.
I think he fits
Respect
better.
to Dwayne Johnson.
What's he gonna do? Beat you up?
He could, dude.
No, we love Dwayne Johnson on this podcast,
Yeah.
but I think there was a certain point in time where Dwayne Johnson was like, "Yeah, I'm the alpha. I'm
Yeah.
the big dog."
Yeah,
And
of
so
the
like,
universe.
also like in Fast and the Furious, you get scenes where him and Dom Toretto are like doing exactly the same amount of punches towards each other.
Yeah,
Like he could get hurt, but then he's got to hurt Dom the same amount back. It's like these characters are not you. You are portraying a character, and
Yeah.
I think egos get in the way of that a lot of the time.
yeah.
But Gray Matter's ego is very small because he is small.
He had a little munchkin. What was it?
Micro munchkin.
Micro munchkin.
I don't want to be stuck as a micro munchkin. So
They open into this room. The guys.
they run into Grandpa and Gwen too.
Yeah. They break in. The guy goes something like, "Aliens are people too."
Sort of.
And he grabs the
Stupid.
alien. They're running.
That's sort of a joke we made in the Megawatt episode. We're
Yeah.
like, alien rights. You know,
Yeah.
aliens should have rights.
So they go into what is essentially the
Like
man
the-
cave of the Forever Night. They look, behold my stuff.
My stuff.
The alien mufflers and toasters and refrigerators. There's probably a cure for cancer in here. We don't know what any of it does,
Maybe it's like that Men in Black.
but it looks
room.
cool.
You know, it's like, oh, we'll sell a couple of these and we'll use these.
Yeah.
These will replace CDs soon. Or whatever.
Yeah,
So, but obviously, Gray Matter's like, oh, there's a lot of explosive junk in here, so let me rig up a couple things.
yeah. He puts it all together, kind of vaporizes the castle.
Honestly, in the Forever Nights or two, they're gonna leave the one guy in there,
Yeah, cold.
and I guess Gwen and Grandpa just get away. But they should they shouldn't have just because they just walk out and they don't. It's unsupervised. And the dude also just walks out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they should have been if they wanted him to stay and get exploded,
knock him out or something.
knock him out,
Shoot him in the leg.
just kill him right there, so you know he's dead. Like
Maybe
what?
it's like the satisfaction of knowing that they're scared as they die. You know what I mean?
Shoot him in the leg or something. Cut his leg off so he can't
Yeah.
run.
Watched
Anyway.
The Incredibles the other day.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Awesome film.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling.
I was gonna say because what they're doing is they're prolonging it, so they end up living, and it's the monologue thing. You know what I mean? In Incredibles, they shit on the monologue.
Monologuing. Yeah.
And even Frozen was like, what does he do? He starts monologuing.
He starts talking. Yeah, it's my big evil plan.
Yeah. Sinestro. What the heck am I doing? Syndrome. Buddy. I didn't realize his actor until I looked him up.
Oh, Jason Lee.
It's so funny is that almost all of his IMDb pictures are just the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. Because there's like 5. So you see him in like some serious roles, and then it's 2 whole rows of Alvin and the Chipmunks,
That's
Alvin and the Shipwrecked,
awesome.
Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, The Squeakquel, you know what I mean? And I'm like, this man has been through it.
He did good. He's got a very recognizable voice, too.
Yeah. I didn't until I saw the face, and then I was like, oh, that's the guy.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He was with Kevin Smith a lot in his previous movies.
Yeah.
He was in
some like
My Name is Earl. You ever watch that show? Great show.
I never watched it, but I know he's in it.
I love that show. And that show kind of has a not tragic ending, but like they just
What's the ending?
Well, it gets canceled because they put him in prison because he's done a bunch of crappy stuff.
The show gets canceled?
Yeah, and then they put him in prison to like kind of switch it up a little bit. And obviously people are like, this isn't as fun as when he's outside prison.
Yeah.
So then lower ratings equals cancel. So
they just canceled it.
He's just in prison.
Why didn't they just take him out of prison?
I don't know, man. I think that show's pretty good though, because it had that like shows Earl as like a crappy guy back in time, and then it shows him in present day trying to make up for it. You know.
Yeah.
And Jason Lee's great. The guy, his brother's great. Everybody's great cast.
But so that was a little bit of syndrome lore there. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, he's got a good voice. And I was watching some Disney Infinity thing the other day. He voices Syndrome in that too.
Oh, really? Last thing on the multiverse thing, we're talking about it. It's getting so big though now that we were watching Ant-Man 3 and they start bringing up Kang the Conqueror and stuff.
Oh yeah.
At that point I was lost because they had mentioned it in the Loki show and I couldn't for the life of me remember anything from the Loki show. And Des asked me and I said, for once, I genuinely don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's something you're supposed to know because if you watch Loki, but I just couldn't remember it.
Well,
because I'd consumed so much.
That's the issue too. Like they don't need to have it where you have to watch a TV show prior to kind of understand the next big movie. They should just like it should all be self-contained, and it was for the most part.
And then they kind of went off the rails.
Well, I mean, like the little bit where they talk about like the multiverse and the galaxies and how Kang is from different dimensions and yada yada. And also, like he's complicated in the comics too. Like they should have streamlined his story to be like, this is a guy. They should have made it more cohesive. Is what I'm trying to say.
Not as complicated. They made Thanos very simple.
I am an evil purple alien that has a misguided but ultimately in the right place. Noble
thought.
Like he wants to. His whole idea for destroying half the people is to save half the other people. Yeah. So, I mean,
even though that just prolongs it for.
It's genocidal. It's bad.
Couple hundred years, maybe.
Right. I mean. And like other people be like, you could have doubled the resources. It's like, well, then you get like twice the galaxy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone said it wasn't like a stop. It was to give the universe time to heal. There's half the amount of people.
I don't like in the comics too. We can talk about this a little bit. In the comics, Thanos is obviously wrong.
Yeah, but he's only doing it in the comics. He's doing it for a completely different reason.
Yeah,
it's the court death, the literal death. He's like, hey, I think you're hot. I'm gonna kill a bunch of people for you.
And she's like,
can I get your number? And she's like, no, loser.
I like Deadpool instead, actually.
Yeah, because he can't die, and that's hot.
I like that idea. It's fun.
It is. It's really cool.
But no, so like in the comics, like everything goes crazy. Like you lose half the vegetation out of the world.
Did he do half in the comics, or he was just going to kill everybody?
Snapped, he killed half the people. And I think he got so mad with power at the end of it that like he kind of leaves his body, and he's like, I don't even need a body anymore. And that's when they sneak up and take the glove because it's his ego taking the better. But no, but in the comics, like everything is in chaos. Yeah. Whereas like in the movies, it's kind of like there's whales in the harbor, everyone's got enough food, and Steve's kind of like, maybe this is a good thing.
Yeah.
For a minute he's like, I kind of like this.
Yeah, it's calm.
They shouldn't have done
that. It was
that's
a
messed
show
up.
Afterward, and they brought everyone back.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean they're still dealing with repercussions.
Yeah,
of that,
double the chaos. You got all these repatriated people, like replaced, like displaced, everything.
Crazy.
But what's weird is like you've got like the show. We're getting so far. It's become a Marvel episode.
Well, we've already pretty much discussed the episode.
Yeah, but like what my problem is in some shows and movies it's crazy chaos, but in others it's just normal little bit of what's the word? Inconvenience. You watch Spider-Man 2, it's an inconvenience.
Spider-Man 3.
No, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 3.
It happens. Spider-Man 2 happens after the blip.
Spider-Man 2 happens after
The blip. You're correct.
Oh, okay.
You're right. Say it.
You're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway.
Sorry, I kept thinking. I thought you were meaning No Way Home. You're meaning Far From Home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just an inconvenience. You go to the Falcon Winter Soldier show. It's the worst thing that had happened.
There's like no resources. Whole, like there's a terrorist who's trying to like steal resources for her country or whatever.
Maybe it's like a perspective thing they're trying to do, but you can't be that crazy in that one, and then in someone else's life, it's so normal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think they were playing it more for comedy in the Spider-Man one.
Yeah,
and they were doing
because they called it the blip. That was when they first started calling it the blip, and I was like,
the snap. We were all calling it the snap, you know.
Yeah, like the blip.
The blip.
He blipped. Come on, please. But I digress. So
Anyway.
they get out. Ben doesn't learn anything.
Ben learns gray matter's pretty useful sometimes, and I can use parts to explode other things.
The self-containment we were talking about, like they're in the RV driving away, and Ben the watch yells or like makes
it does like a big red energy wave.
It's still red after it's been on cooldown for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And Gwen goes, "We need to figure out what's wrong with that fast."
Nothing
ever happens. Yeah, and then nothing happens with it.
No, the next episode he's like sick, and that's why the watch is being weird.
And then the next episode is the season finale with Vilgax. I don't think he had the time really. Like
it's weird.
That being a previous episode and maybe going into a different one, and Kevin 11 being the 11th episode, I think would have worked because they could have taken out a different episode. Maybe
they could have. They should have just like. I mean, the watch is always acting a little funky. You know, I think in one of the episodes he misses.
Honestly, he just tells Azimuth, "Hey, is this the prototype? Because this thing sucks."
Yeah.
Like, as much as you think it's cool, a 10-year-old can't operate it.
Right.
Isn't that the test of, like, if you can explain something, you should be able to explain it perfectly to a young person?
Yeah.
If a 10-year-old can't use this item, maybe it's garbage.
Or it's one of the most advanced, pieces of weaponry in the entire universe. I guess not weaponry. It's like
supposed to be a diplomacy device.
Diplomacy device. Anyway, I don't know.
Wait. We also get the very end setup for the Forever Knights.
Forever Knights find Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max's picture, and they try to find out everything they can about him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're gonna dig deep into Max's rich history, and
which I feel like they should just know he's Max. You know what I mean?
Maybe I don't know. We don't really know how much the plumbers are involved in like day-to-day like criminal stuff. But you know what? Max knows of them, so then maybe they should know of the plumbers.
That's what I'm saying. But
maybe
we
they
get
do.
some setup for the next season. We're getting close to the end of the season.
Yeah, we have
it's
2 more
almost
episodes.
Here. Yeah. What's the name of the next episode?
Side Effects, I think.
Side Effects.
Bug guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if he's a bug in this episode or if he's just the guy who controls bugs.
Something weird.
In the very end of the show.
I just remember Stinkfly being sick. He like sneezes mucus or something like that.
Remember like Heat Blast has like freezy powers or something.
Does he really? Oh, I forgot about that, dude.
Fire so hot it freezes.
No, Big Chill says
That's
that.
Ultimate Big Chill, yeah.
Which is a sick design, I'm telling you, dude. The designs for the
sick.
Ultimate Aliens were cool.
He is sick, literally.
Shut up. I hate you.
But
yeah, that's the episode.
Pretty okay. I mean, this is not the best episode.
No, I think us going on a 20-minute long Marvel tangent probably shows.
Sorry if you got bored.
Who gets bored talking about Marvel, dude? Psh, superhero fatigue? What are you talking about?
Yeah, normal human beings.
Couldn't be me.
But Ben 10 is just fun. Like I just have fun watching this episode, even though I'm looking back at it more like this is sort of a nothing episode.
Yeah, a filler. Even though you hate
episode.
using the word filler.
I don't love it. Don't love it. But we get the Forever Knights. We get some more Grandpa backstory. We get like a full episode with Gray Matter. Give Gray Matter a chance to shine a little bit.
He still doesn't, but we gave him the chance.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's sort of more Ben stuck in an alien. And that sort of comes along with its own limit. If he was Stinkfly, he couldn't go into public because he's a gross bug. He was 4 arms. He couldn't fit into small spaces.
Yeah.
So I like kind of Ben problem solving as a frog.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Did Gray Matter redeem himself now?
Do you
y'all still hate him?
Do you like Gray Matter? I want that to be my comment question. Like, do you guys like Gray Matter? Because I like Gray Matter. It's just that he's the least cool of all the 10.
I don't like him.
You don't like him at all? Do you not like any other aliens besides Blocks?
I hate Blocks with a passion.
I think his name's Blocks. I don't know. The fact that I don't remember his name right off the bat is like telling.
It means that you should hate him.
Yeah.
No, I think I like every other alien.
They've introduced some real stinkers in Omniverse. Like,
yeah, I could believe it.
Trout.
Is he a fish?
He's a fish with legs. That's his whole thing. He's like a
That's
little fish.
Ripjaws. That's literally
No,
Ripjaws.
no, no. He's like a little minnow fish.
That's stupid.
legs.
What purpose does that give him?
It's just an alien species he can turn into. You know what I mean? The universe is full of these alien species.
You think if it was like another alien, they show up, they turn into a human, like, the fuck am I supposed to do with this, huh?
Oh, we gonna pee on somebody or something?
What?
Spit on you or
They're like, maybe this is a gun. You know what I mean?
Well, we see like with some aliens, like Wrath is like the peak example. I'm sure there's fat, Wrath species, but Wrath is built and bulky, so he's got his like.
So you turn into like Dwayne Johnson, maybe?
Yeah, you would turn into like The Rock, essentially.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next week for the penultimate episode of season 1.
Sign your mix.
What? Side effects?
Sign your mix.
I hate you. Cut it right now.
Bye.